Good afternoon, everybody. So welcome and thank you very much for making some time to come and engage with your peers today. And that's really the purpose of today, is to give you the opportunity to engage with your peers. And hopefully we're going to provide some stimulating content to enable you to do that. With the busy lives that we all lead, we so infrequently get opportunities to connect with our peers and have conversations. And with all my years of experience working with the ISE, I know one of the very many valuable parts of being a member of the ISE is the opportunity to engage with peers and share. So that's the purpose of today, and unsurprisingly, a big focus is around doing this in a virtual environment. So for those of you who don't know me or don't know My Kind of Future, so my name is Simon. I'm the strategic lead for talent here at My Kind of Future. So I work with lots of clients across lots of sectors. So not just financial services, although we do a lot across financial services, but I help and work with lots of our clients, helping shape their strategy and then operationalize and bring that strategy to life when it comes to early talent. I've worked in the space about 25, 26 years, just come off the board of the ISE, where I've helped build the apprenticeship proposition that I hope your organizations are benefiting from. And My Kind of Future, we are a mission-locked social enterprise, and our mission is to support underrepresented talent get into work, and then to support underrepresented talent get on when in work. So that's very much what our mission is about. And as an example of that, we obviously work with lots of individual organisations to support in that. But more recently, we've just launched a programme with the Department for Work and Pensions and Job Centre Plus to use our technology platform connector that will enable unemployed people to get access to digital mentors through our connector platform. So supporting those hardest hit by the economic downturn and who are unemployed. And with young people, that's, I think the latest figures I saw, 13.3% of young people are unemployed compared to mainstream unemployment, which is about 4.8%. So that's an example of one of the ways that we deliver on our mission as a social enterprise. So that's a bit about us, so you know who we are. So why are we here today? So this is a roundtable opportunity, and again, what we found is rather than us talking at you for 20, 30 minutes, the opportunity to focus on some key topics that we know are important, and give you the opportunity to engage with your peers and discuss these and learn and share from each other. And in order to shape some of the topics that we're going to be talking to today, I reached out to Karen Luckley-Tang from Deloitte, who I know really well, who runs the financial services sector focus group for the ISE, to get a sense of what some of the key topics that you were discussing as a group that we could perhaps focus on today. So a very big thank you for Karen to sharing those insights, and that's where this has come from. So 4 key areas I want to look at, we want to give you the opportunity to discuss today. One is around talent pooling and why it matters. And just to explain what talent pooling is all about, I'm sure most of you know, but talent pooling is that process of, if you think about all the different activities you do in and around attraction, whether that's work experience, events, face-to-face or virtual, stuff you do online through your social, all the time you're connecting and engaging with talent. And what talent pooling is about bringing all that talent into one place, and rather than sitting on a database or an Excel spreadsheet or a content management system, is proactively engaging with that talent community and building their knowledge and understanding of you, your business, the opportunities you offer, the roles you offer, what it's like to work there, so that you're building a really engaged pool of talent by sharing content and insights and giving them the opportunity to find out more. And then when you have opportunities, you've got a really engaged pool of talent to engage with. And this increases speed to hire, drives down cost per hire, all that kind of stuff through talent pooling. So talent pooling is one of the discussion points. Another one is about, we're going to obviously be talking about the whole, how do we do candidate engagement in the virtual world? You know, it's pretty clear that next academic year, that there's still going to be limitations on what face-to-face activity can take place or will take place, so we're going to need to continue with virtual. And some of us have obviously benefited from virtual in terms of found new ways to engage with new audiences, so I'm going to want to stay with it anyway. So we thought an opportunity to do a bit of sharing around that would be of value. The other piece that seems to be very topical is this issue of work experience. Work experience, as you know, all of you will be aware, has been heavily used as a feeder for talent in the graduate space for probably 7 to 10 years now, with the big focus on internships and converting them into graduate hires. And increasingly over the last 2 or 3 years, we've seen more and more examples of that in the apprenticeship space, so using school work experience as a feeder. But one of the things we wanted to think about is how we could reimagine this, because obviously during COVID, that got really hard hit. You'll remember the ISE stats from last year, that immediately COVID hit and lockdown happened in kind of March, April. Work experience programs, internships were cut by up to 40%. So a really significant hit that we saw across the ISE members. So, and this has got organisations thinking about reimagining work experience and how it can be done differently. And one of the expressions I use a lot to help with that reimagining is talking about an experience of work. You know, how can we give young people an experience of work? Whereas, because very often when we think about work experience, we think about it's a week, they come into the office, they've got to meet lots of people, we've got to do stuff with them, you know, and so organisations are limited as to the scale of it, or feel they can't do the very best job they would want to, so don't do it. So are there opportunities to reimagine and think about an experience of work in a different way? Will be another topic for us to discuss. And then the final piece, which is looking a bit more long term when it comes to early talent. And there's no doubt that in the early talent space, organisations are getting better and better at attracting and hiring more diverse talent. There's still a lot of work to be done, but certainly getting better at it. But what's then important, obviously, is that diverse talent that comes into the organisation is that they progress. And key to that is inclusion. So making sure it's an inclusive environment so they can perform at their best, so that they feel like they belong within that organisation. Because otherwise the risk is all the great work done by the attraction and recruitment team to bring diverse talent in is at best a leaky bucket, and a worst case scenario is wasted effort. And we definitely don't want that happening, both from time and money that's spent doing it, but also thinking about the strategic driver for bringing more diverse talent in. And if that diverse talent isn't progressing, then all the benefits that come from having a diverse workforce are missed out on. So we want to talk about that, and that's particularly relevant for your sector, the financial services sector, because back end of last year, the government launched or commissioned a new task force to specifically look at improving socioeconomic diversity at a senior level in financial and professional services, because it's not diverse at all from a social mobility point at a senior level, and that needs to be addressed. And we're at My Kind of Future, we're one of the delivery partners for that task force. So, and it links to that progression piece about supporting underrepresented talent to get on and progress and do well. So we thought it might be another useful topic to talk about in terms of what's in place. And I appreciate somebody on this call might be responsible purely for the attraction and recruitment piece and not so much for the development. But as I say, all that great work that you do, we don't want that to be to not see the full value for your organisation. So those are the 4 topics that we're going to be covering off today. The way it's going to work is that we will facilitate these sessions. We will be putting you into, I think, into 2 rooms, so you get the opportunity to really have a voice. Myself and my colleague Adam will be facilitating those sessions, which basically means posing the questions to enable you to have a discussion. There are these 4 topics that we're going to cover, so you'll have about 10 minutes for each topic, so hopefully a meaningful amount of time. And we'll be capturing notes on what you share in both rooms. So Adam will be capturing notes and so will I. And then what we'll do is collate all that insight from both groups and share that back with you. So whichever room you're in, you'll benefit from what's been shared. So I'd really encourage you to share as much as you can and feel comfortable with, because that will, everyone will benefit from that, because we'll pull it all together and we'll share that back with you so that you've got, you benefit from it all. So that's the plan. I've started to jump the gun. So that final progression piece that I was talking about in the task force, here are some stats about why the task force has been set up. Is that there was research conducted by the Bridge Group, and what came through, a couple of really powerful points came through, is if you come from a low socioeconomic background and you work in financial services, it takes you 25% as long to progress. And that has nothing to do with performance. It's purely because you come from a lower socioeconomic background. And if you're also Black and from an associate background, it takes you 32% as long to progress. Someone in a police car, yeah, it takes you 32% as long to progress. So again, for no other reason than your background. And that obviously is huge inequality, huge unfairness, but also massive untapped talent and massive underutilized talent within organizations. So it's a really massive issue in financial services, and that is why the task force has been set up to address this really significant challenge that the sector faces. Obviously hugely relevant, bear in mind that who we've got in the room today. If you want to find out more about the task force and if your organization is involved or if it can be more involved, say I'm one of the delivery partners, so do reach out to me after this session today, and I'll happily link you in with that. Okay, right, so now we're into the breakout discussion. So with the miracle of technology, we're going to split you into 2 rooms, and then we will take part in the discussions, and we'll have about 10 minutes for each one. So whoever my 6 are, I'll look forward to seeing you in a moment or 2, and Hannah will work their magic, and then the other 6 will be with my colleague Adam. So Hannah, over to you.
All good.